Hello and welcome into Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. It's the Matsu Miners taking on the Peninsula Oilers. And this one is good for top of the ABL. The winner will remain or be the new winner. As the Miners currently a half game back on the Oilers. As it stands, the Oilers 11-7, the Miners 10-7. Chinooks are a close third, only game and a half back at 10-9. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots and the Anchorage Bucks tied at 7-11. Both teams are 4 games back. Run through the starting lineups. Leading off, Paul Kunst from the University of San Diego. Following him, Ryan Novus from St. Mary's University. Out of Cal State Bakersfield, Ryan Cook. Grant Wood is the cleanup hitter out of Murray State University. Evan Berkey from Cal State Bakersfield follows Wood. Batting sixth, John McKay from California Polytechnic San Luis Obispo. Batting seventh, Michael Yorg out of the University of San Diego. Tyler Duke, Murray State University. Jake Darrow from Eastern Arizona College rounds it out. And on the mound for the Oilers, Brian Wu from California Polytechnic San Luis Obispo. The head coach for the Oilers, Kyle Brown, pitching coach Ryan Duran, and hitting coach Orlando Sanchez. And on the mound for the Miners today, Asa Lacey. Lacey coming in with a 4 ERA, record of 0-1, has 9 innings pitched, has 9 strikeouts, as he will dig in here against Paul Kunst to lead things off. Kunst so far, no extra base hits, 11 for 52, batting .212 on the season. The big lefty from Texas A&M, his first pitch is low and inside, and we are underway.
And we are. What an exciting game we have on hand. 2 teams battling for that first spot in the ABL. To have a game like this almost midway through the season is really exciting.
Bunt attempt is lifted high, but it's in there for a called strike. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. It's only 3 walks for Kunst as he swings and fouls this one off towards right side. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Asa Lacey, last time out was June 20th against the Anchorage Bucks. He pitches here inside, ball number 2. Went 3 2/3, allowed 3 runs, 2 were earned, 6 hits, and was even with walks and strikeouts at 2 apiece. This is his first time facing the Oilers. Lacey's pitch swung on, fouled straight back, bounces off the press box, and count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Lacey just has to find that groove, find that rhythm. That seemed to be his high mark in that last outing, was when he found his groove and rhythm, he was really putting batters down.
Lacey from the windup, he deals, swung on a miss, strike. First strikeout for Asa Lacey today. As he gets the leadoff man, call Kunst. As I'll bring up Ryan Novus.
Nice 2-seam fastball on the outer edge. Had Kunst fold. Lacey started out on the outer edge, and then it broke outside. So if he would have looked at it, it would have been a ball. But luckily for Lacey, it was a great pitch.
Novus so far, as he takes a pitch in for a ball. 12 for 57, a .211 batting average. Getting on base, .27. As a fastball from Lacey hits the inside corner for strike 1. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. And for the Oilers, they are struggling at the plate. They are last in the ABL in average, last in on-base percentage, and a swing and a miss from Novus brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. In batting average as a team, batting .194. On-base percentage, .283. However, the bats are in the middle of the pack. Striking out 134 as this one is lifted out into no man's land center field. Giving chase was shortstop Drew Swift, but he couldn't get it in time. So that's the first base hit against Asa Lacey here in the top of the first.
Almost seemed like Swift was going to have enough speed to get onto that ball. He actually lifted up in the air and tried to jump for it. Unfortunately, just out of his stretch glove. And you hate to see hits like that as a pitcher because you almost win that at bat. But then Novus just gets on with sort of a bloop single where no one was. Unfortunately for Lacey, he just has to keep dealing like he is and keep these Oilers hitters fold.
Well, that'll bring up the most dangerous man in the Oilers lineup, Ryan Cook. Cook batting .298, 14 RBIs. His first pitch into him is a fastball down the middle for a called strike. Cook 17 for 57. Getting on base at .420. Lacey's pitch swung on, line drive into center field. Coming in and playing it on a hop is Braden Merritt. So back-to-back center field singles for the Oilers. They're in business here in the top of the first inning. Ryan Novus, now Ryan Cook. Both Ryans getting on base with Grant Wood coming up to the plate.
Oilers hitters are really timing it up quite well and just getting enough into center field, whereas the shortstop or center fielder can't really get to it for the Miners. And they've sparked a little run to begin this ball game.
So no score here in the top of the first inning. One out. Lacey on the mound pitching from the stretch. He deals against Grant Wood inside for ball one. Wood 13 for 58, batting .224. So far. A .297 on-base percentage for Grant Wood. Runners on first and second. Lacey deals too far inside again. Wood sliding his feet back. 2 balls, no strikes. Wood batting from the right side. Steps in against the lefty Asa Lacey. This one's lined through the hole on the right side. Fielding it is Austin Pianarini. As he throws into the infield, Henson cuts it off, but the bases are loaded. 3 straight singles here for the Peninsula Oilers. Bases are loaded against the Matsu Miners with only 1 out here in the top of the first.
Not how you want to start it all for Asa Lacey, but he seems like he's trying to pitch to a little contact here, which could mean a possible double play ball in effect. And that would be a great way for him to get out of this inning and really eject himself into the second.
So 3 straight singles. Lacey's pitch is swung on and missed by Evan Berkey. So Ryan Novus on third. Ryan Cook, he's on second. And now Grant Wood is on first. Evan Berkey at the plate, .260 batting average. Second highest for the Oilers on the season. Lacey's pitch taken inside for a ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Then we were talking about how the bats weren't there for the Oilers, and just like that, 3 straight singles. Bases are full. Lacey's pitch, a fastball misses low and inside for ball 2. Umpires, Alex Dragan at third, Nate DeSantis at first, and the home plate umpire, Scott Johnston. Lacey standing in on the mound. He pitches inside, and that one hits him. A hit by pitch from Asa Lacey. It hit Evan Berkey, and that's how the first run will score. Bases are loaded still. The Oilers take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. And that's going to draw pitching coach Jeff Erlab out of the dugout. An early visit is never a good visit.
No, it really isn't. And Erlab just trying to tell Lacey to find that zone, which he had. Unfortunately, those next 3 prior hitters in front of Berkey just found a way to put it in play and in spots that the Miners weren't. So when that happens, obviously the base hits start to pile up, and then you have the bases loaded situation. But if you're Lacey, you just have to put it behind you. You have to trust your pitches and deliver them to the best of your ability, and hopefully you can work out of this inning.
Well, this is the 3rd game against the Oilers this season. On the 12th, Miners lost 2-0. On the 13th, they lost 3-2. So very close ball games between these 2 teams. 1 run can be the difference, as Lacey hopes to keep it like that, as the bases are loaded still with 1 away here in the top of the first. The Oilers 1, Miners 0. Lacey steps off the mound. Defense for the Miners, Kona Quiggle, Braden Merritt, Austin Pinarini, as he's going to want Aaron Walters to take a jog out into the middle of the plate. So Quiggle, Merritt, Pinarini, left to right in the outfield. Bassetti, Swift, Van Blake, and Henson is your infield. Lacey and Walters are the battery mates today. John McKay, 3 for 21, 143 batting average. So he steps in from the right side. First pitch into McKay is a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike. So after 2 conversations to Lacey, he's got a strike. McKay getting on base at a clip of 250. Second pitch into him is too far outside, and this one rolls back a little bit, but not too far, as Ryan Cook stays at third. So ball gets away, but no damage done.
Yeah, trouble handling it there from Walters, a little lackadaisical with it, but did a great job of hustling back to it to make sure the runner on third could not advance home.
The outfield is a little shifted towards right. A lot of room out in left center fields. The pitch into McKay, swung on and missed. So Asa Lacey's ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, but we've been here before.
Yeah, we have. And Lacey has the stuff. Very talented young pitcher, but it's putting those fastballs, curveballs, whatever it may be, in the right spots to get these Oilers hitters fold.
So 1-2 the count. Oilers are leading the Miners here in the top of the first, 1-0. The pitch from Lacey, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Lacey with 2 strikeouts here in the inning, but unfortunately 1 run has scored between them. As now 2 outs in the top of the first, the bases are still loaded.
And that's what I mean right there. Lacey delivered a great pitch that broke outside of the zone. Whenever you can do that, have a hitter guessing, that's when you are on top of your game. He unfortunately struggled with that through the 2 through 5 hitters, but seems like he's starting to bring it back here in the top of the first inning and may escape this with only 1 run.
Michael York, the first baseman, stands in. He takes a fastball high and away from Lacey. 1 ball, no strikes. And for York, a 196 batting average. 9 hits and 46 at-bats. 12 strikeouts to go along with that. 1-0. In there for a called strike, 1-1. And what really has propelled these Oilers to first place has been their pitching. The ERA of the Oiler pitching staff, a 2.58. Best in the ABL. So a tall task for the Miners when they come to the plate. Third pitch in, bounces in the dirt. Good block by Walters. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Wonderful block there from Walters. As a catcher, you're always told, keep it in front of you, and he did a great job there as it rolled right back to Lacey pretty much.
So 2-1 the count, 2 outs, bases are loaded. On first, Evan Berkey. As the 1-2 swung on and missed, evens up the count at 2-2. Berkey's on first with a hit by pitch. Grant Woods on second. He reached on a single. And Ryan Cook's at third. Already in the inning is Ryan Novus. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here on the top of the first. Lacey from the stretch. He deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the bases were loaded against Asa Lacey, but he was able to get 3 strikeouts, but not before 1 run scores on a hit by pitch. It's the Peninsula Oilers 1. The Matsu Miners come to the plate when we return here on Matsu Miner Radio. Starting lineup for the Matsu Miners. Leading things off, Kona Quiggle from Grand Canyon University. Out of the University of Nevada, Reno, Tyler Bassetti, he bats second. The number 3 batter out of Gonzaga, Austin Pianarini. Out of Oral Roberts University, Spencer Henson. Batting 5th, Caleb Van Blake from UC Davis. Hunter Jump out of Arizona State, he bats 6th. In the 7 hole from Texas A&M, Aaron Walters. From Arizona State, batting 8th, Drew Swift. And out of the University of New Mexico, Braden Merritt. Kona Quiggle batting 277 on the season, getting on base at 319. 18 hits and 65 at-bats. Also second on the team with RBIs with 7. Brian Wu has an ERA of 1. He's only allowed 1 run in 9 innings pitched, as the first pitch is on the outside corner to Kona Quiggle. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Second pitch is too far outside for ball number 1. Miners second in batting average, batting 229 as a team. Swing and miss from Quiggle puts the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Wu actually just graduated just over a month ago, so the young kid hasn't even started college yet, but playing here in the ABL, quite an accomplishment.
Wu misses high. Quiggle's able to hold his bat as the count puts itself at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brian Wu, the righty, pitches in too low for ball number 3.
Gotta love it as a leadoff batter, working that to a full count, making the pitcher show you his whole array of pitches.
The payoff pitch swung on and fouled back. Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Oilers are leading the Miners 1-0. This is the 3rd appearance as a ball 4 to Kona Quiggle. Quiggle gets on base, his 5th walk of the season. As Tyler Bassetti at the University of Nevada, Reno. That's in from the right side. Bassetti batting 218, 12 hits and 55 at-bats.
Bassetti, the stirrups guy, said he's always liked wearing them, worn them since Little League. And actually, back at school, he has to wear them for the University of Nevada, Reno.
That's a good look. First pitch into Bassetti, swung on and missed for strike 1. And this is the 3rd appearance for Brian Wu. Wu was a starter against the Chinooks, where they won 9-1. Went 5 innings pitched, allowed a run. Was earned 3 hits. Second pitch in Bassetti's fouled off towards the right side. Had a walk and 3 strikeouts. Also faced the Pilots, where he had 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Didn't give up any runs in 4 innings. And Wu also plays both ways as a hitter. As this one's lined out into left field for a base hit. That's the first Miners hit. Kona Quiggle goes to second, and Tyler Bassetti on first with a single. So the Miners responding right back to the Oilers here in the bottom of the first. There's nobody out with the 3 batter at the plate. Austin Pianarini batting 279.
And this is what the Miners did great job of last night. Getting out early, they scored 3 runs in 3 innings, which is a great way to have your pitching play in front for the whole entire game. So if they can string a couple runs, this pitching staff has been very reliable and will help out a lot in trying to get that top spot in the ABL.
A righty on lefty matchup. Wu looks for the signs again. The runner on second. Signs always get changed. First pitch into Pianarini is in for a called strike. Quiggle's on second. Bassetti at first. Austin Pianarini at the plate. Pianarini, 7 RBIs, tied with Quiggle for second. Hunter Jump has 8. He has the lead. His fastball misses low and inside for ball 1. So Pianarini, Henson, and Van Blake due up, discounting any double plays. Outfield playing straight away. Infield double play depth. Pitch into Pianarini is too low for ball number 2.
Very interesting why Jorg over at first is playing in front of the first base bag against the lefty Pianarini. I highly doubt Pianarini is going to bunt, as he's been providing very great RBI numbers, as you just said, Connor. So very surprising that he's playing in.
Well, the corners are in. Middle infield back. This one is lifted out into left field. Making the call is Novus. He makes the catch as well, as that's the first out here in the bottom of the first. Spencer Henson, the big bat in the Miners lineup, has cooled off a little bit. Back-to-back offers in the game. But Henson still batting .325. Getting on base, .372. That's 5 RBIs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. 13 hits and 40 at-bats.
You know, Henson absolutely loves playing in front of this Palmer crowd. Obviously, the second year back, so that fuels him a little more, gives him more incentive to get a hit.
Henson batting from the right side. Wu's pitch too far inside for ball 1. So the Miners are definitely working Wu here in the bottom of the first. A lot of room towards the left field line for Henson. Should he pull it? And the pitch into him, bounces away, and Hida can't find it. McKay finally finds it. Runners move over to third and second. So the ball bounced at the plate, a high bouncer. Catcher McKay couldn't find it in the air. When it landed a couple feet behind him, it was too late, as Kona Quiggle down moves over from second to third, and from first over to second is Tyler Bassetti. So Spencer Henson with 2 runners now in scoring position, as the Miners still trail the Peninsula Oilers 1-0. Count sits at 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Manager Ben Taylor, he's over at third. And Tyler LeBron, as this one is fouled back, hits the press box. And somebody has a nice souvenir.
So Henson's on it. He fouled it straight back, just dipped under the ball just a bit. So you know he has Wu tied up. Question is, will Wu be able to fool Henson with 2 strikes?
2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch misses a little outside for ball 3. As some might say, just a bit outside.
Yeah, it really was, but he had a bit pitched away, so smart decision there by Wu to not give Henson anything to hit.
It was a good block from McKay. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on second and third. The pitch into Henson swung on and fouled off towards the right side. But displaying some power there, as that went all the way over towards the right field and over the fence. Just foul. The Miners bullpen have some Miners caps on, but this one are hard hats.
They're always working down there in the pen, so they got to have protection at all costs.
So the count is full with runners on second and third. The pitch into Henson, swung on, line drive right into the gap in right center field. Down, bring home 2. Around third, coming in to score is Tyler Bassetti. Kona Quiggle in front of him. So the Miners take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Spencer Henson, a 2 RBI single as he puts the Miners ahead.
Yeah, what a rip there from Spencer Henson. Did a great job getting bat on ball.
So Bassetti scores, as does Konaquiggle. Miners take a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first after giving up 1 run in the top half. Caleb Van Blake bounding from the left side. He stands in. A nice 300 batting average. 3 for 10. Make it 4 for 10 or 4 for 11. That's a base hit into left center field. Rounding second and heading for third. He goes there standing is Spencer Henson. So first pitch swinging from Caleb Van Blake. The Miners are in business. 2 runs are already in the inning. Runners at the corners now for Hunter Jump. So Van Blake, he reached base before I was able to say it. Getting on base at 563 in the short beginnings of his Miners career. As that will draw a little conversation on the mound from pitching coach Ryan Duran. At this time, I'd like to thank our internet sponsor, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Be sure, if you're here in Alaska, to stop into your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miner jersey giveaway for your chance to win.
Yeah, you got to love it. The Miners playing from ahead, just mentioned, super important to allow their pitching staff some leeway, and they're really swinging the bats hot tonight. It's a hot day, so an absolutely great way to start for the Miners. The bats have been not the best for the Miners, currently not their strong suit, but right now they want to change that motto, as this is a huge game, and big teams perform under big moments.
Yes, they do, and the Miners last year, of course, found ways to drive across runs. They were the top of the ABL, as they hope to repeat again this year. Van Blake on first, Spencer Henson on third. First pitch into Hunter Jump is high and away for ball 1. Jump so far batting .214 on the season, 12 hits and 56 trips to the plate. 8 RBIs, that's best on the Miners. As second pitch into him is way outside for ball 2. Jump reaching base, .446 on base percentage. And does not strike out much, only 5. Also has 4 doubles to his name. As fastball misses low and away, count goes to 3 balls and no strikes here in the bottom of the first. Matsu Miners leading the Peninsula Oilers 2-1. Thanks to the big bat of Spencer Henson. The damage isn't done yet. At least that's what Hunter Jump hopes to accomplish. Henson's on third. Fastball hits the outside corner for strike 1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Jump taken all the way. As we said, Van Blake, he's over on first. Spencer Henson on third. Hunter Jump at the plate. They've gotten to Brian Wu, who's only allowed 1 run as this one's fouled straight back to fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I would imagine Wu's going to come with a fastball. Although he's brought 2 in a row to Jump, he will want to bring it in the zone. I highly doubt he wants to load the bases up.
Wu is set. Now he deals outside for ball 4. So Brian Wu is struggling here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 runs are in for the Matsu Miners. With the bases loaded, a chance to do more damage as Aaron Walters out of Texas A&M will step in from the left side. Walters, 9 hits and 47 plate appearances. 3 RBIs, 3 walks. Also has 4 doubles.
And Walters has swung the bat very well recently. Looks to keep that trend going and possibly extend this Miners lead.
First pitch into Walters. This one's hit out into right field. Coming in to not make the catch is Novus. That one hops him as Spencer Henson comes in to score. So Novus, a little indecision there, cost the Oilers a run. The Miners now lead by 2. It's a score. Miners 3, Oilers 1. With the bases still loaded, an RBI single from Aaron Walters.
It really was a questionable play there from Novus, as I think he may have had enough time, as that was just kind of floating in the air. But he wanted to make the safe play rather than be safe than sorry and only give up one run than more.
Well, he started to run in on the ball, and it looked like he might have had a chance, but that one just kind of short hopped him. As Drew Swift looks to continue moving on the train, as a nice block by McKay. Count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Bases are loaded yet again for the Matsu Miners. Spencer Henson, he's in with the 3rd run of the inning. Caleb Van Blake on 3rd. Over on 2nd, got on with a walk. Hunter Jump, and with a RBI single is Aaron Walters. He's on 1st. At the plate is Drew Swift. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Check that, 2 strikes. Well, we believe 1 ball, 1 strike. This one grounded over and mishandled by the first baseman. Drew Swift will be safe at first. In to come to score is Caleb Van Blake. Official scoring on the scoreboard is an error charged to Jorg. Drew Swift with a hot shot to the hot corner brings home another run. It's the Matsu Miners 4, the Peninsula Oilers 1. And it is fun for the fans here at Harmon Brothers Field to watch this team bat.
It really is. And when you come out with hot bats like this and knowing that you have pitching that will back it up soon to follow, it's just a fun thing to watch for the Miners. As we just mentioned, big game. The fans know it and these players know it, and they're trying their all-out best, much like they do every night.
This is a big game, as if they win this, as the ball bounces to Braden Merritt at the plate. Miners win, they're at the top of the ABL. Miners lose, they remain in 2nd place with the Chinooks right behind them. The standings as of now, the Oilers 11-7 at the top. The Miners a half game back at 10-7. Chinooks 10-9. 1.5 games back, and 4 games back are both the Pilots and the Bucks. As this one misses low and away to Braden Merritt, 2 balls and no strikes. Merritt so far in the season batting .214. Was able to raise his batting average yesterday, going 1 for 3 with a double. That was his first RBI of the season. Chance here for more, as that's ball number 3. So Brian Wu really struggling out of the gates here in the bottom of the 1st inning. 4 runs are in. And taking a look at the official scoring, all runs are earned. Drew Swift credited with a single, as that was a hot shot over to first. As a 4-pitch at bat, all balls will walk in another run. Braden Merritt trots on over to first, and coming home is Hunter Jump. The Miners just keep this train moving, as I will draw a conversation from the catcher McKay. Does not look like anybody is warming up in the bullpen, or we might have just missed it. A pitcher is standing and looks like he will be brought in. So the head coach, Kyle Brown, will take a slow walk. His goal, retrieving the pitcher. Brian Wu was able to go 1/3 of an inning, as the Miners are leading 5-1 at the bottom of the 1st. We'll let you know who's coming in to pitch right after a short break. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. So Brian Wu, final stat line on him. We're only in the bottom of the first inning. Pitched 1/3 of an inning. Allowed 5 hits, 5 runs. All were earned. Gave up 3 walks. As Justin Jaime will come in to relieve Wu. Jaime, a 3 ERA on the season from CSU Pueblo. From Jamul, California. Jaime, the righty, will now go through the top of the minors' order. Conequiggle returns to the plate as the Miners have batted through for the first time this season.
Yeah, and he got things started with the walk, ended up coming around to score, so we'll see more of the same can happen for the Miners. What a great way to start.
Second pitch into Quiggle is low and inside, so not a great way to start for Justin Jaime. It was 4 straight balls to Breda Merritt, who's on first base. Drew Swift is on second, and over on third is Aaron Walters. But Merritt received 4 straight balls to get a walk. 2 straight balls here to Conequiggle. 2 different pitches. This one is lined all the way down the right field line, and it is a home run. Conequiggle with the second home run of the minor season, a grand slam. On 1 pitch, 4 runs. Conequiggle, as the Matsu Minor faithful here in Palmer, Alaska, are loving it. 9 runs in here on the bottom of the first. Conequiggle having himself a great season. And Brad, that was a hot shot off the bat. I didn't even see it land.
It really was, and went in that power alley into right field. That wind blows that way, so if you can hit a missile, get it in the wind tunnel, it will shoot out into the parking lot. And what a first inning for the Miners. Now a total of 9 runs scored. That is unbelievable and amazing. What a showcase of bats to start this ball game off.
Well, we've always said the Miners' bats have been the issue on the season, but they have not been an issue today, as a bunt attempt from Tyler Bassetti goes foul along the left side. And it's a lot of energy here, as it's RC detail and distinctive ride day at the ballpark. A lot of fans are being treated to a great performance on the field. We started off with Conequiggle, and Quiggle just hit a grand slam. Pitch into Bassetti, fouled off towards the right side. So to recap the inning, Quiggle, the first time around, reached base on a walk, came around to score. Tyler Bassetti with a single. He's up at the plate now. Count is at no balls and 2 strikes. He singled, scored. The only out of the inning is Austin Pinarini. He flew out to left as a count to Tyler Bassetti goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spencer Henson had an RBI single. Van Blake followed suit with a single. Came around to score. Hunter jumped, walked, scored, as this one is fouled off. Bassetti stays alive. Then an RBI single from Aaron Walters. Drew Swift followed suit with a single. Brandon Merritt got on base with a walk. And a big grand slam from Conequiggle. The second of the season, the second for his season. As the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes, Miners are leading the Peninsula Oilers 9-1. And lost in all this is Asa Lacey, who's been sitting for a while as the fastball catches the inside corner. Scott Johnson rings up Tyler Bassetti for the second out. This ball is a little bit tossed around on the infield. So Jaime, it took the Oilers 8 batters to get the second out here in the bottom of the first. 9 runs are in on 6 hits. Pinarini made the first out of the inning, returns to the plate, takes a fastball for a called strike. So 0-1 the count to Austin Pinarini. Curveball misses high and away. Puts the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And this is hard if you're Justin Jamie, because you're coming in, you're not expecting to enter a game this early, and now you're expected to go multiple innings of not really a super warmed up arm. So very interesting to see how he handles this.
Last pitch misses to Pinarini. 2 balls and 1 strike. And now for Asa Lacy when he returns to the mound, should this inning end, which we believe it will. Jaime's pitch swung on and fouled off towards the left side, giving a couple steps towards it as Novus, but that goes out of play.
And he also didn't get a great start with one of his first pitches coming in to Quiggle being a grand slam. It's not exactly the best way to enter a ball game. Nevertheless, only 3 of those runs, or only 1 run credited to him.
The 2-2 to Pinarini bounces in the dirt for ball 3. And like you said, one of the first, it was the 3rd pitch in the at-bat. Kona Quiggle liked it so much, he hit it over the right field fence for a grand slam that brought home Walters, Swift, Merritt, and himself. 3-2 the count to Austin Pinarini. He swings at this one, lifts it out into right field. We might have a second home run, and it's gone. Home run, Austin Pinarini. 10 runs are in here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Austin Pinarini, his first home run as a Mat-Su Miner. It comes with 10 runs in the inning.
Wow, I didn't know that we were golfing because the Miners are teeing off right now against the Oilers. This is absolutely incredible. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. 10 runs in the 1st inning. Are you kidding me? What a performance by the Miners.
Well, a lot of smiles to go around. The bats have finally broken out here in the bottom of the 1st inning as a breaking pitch misses high to Spencer Henson. Just what a performance. We've been talking all about the Miners pitching. Now it's going to be all about the Miners bats. As a off-speed pitch hits the inside corner against Henson, puts the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A tremendous performance from the Miners. They only had 1 home run coming into today. They have tripled that. 3 home runs on the season, 2 coming in the bottom of the 1st. 1 for a grand slam, 1 was a solo. As Austin Pinarini hit 1 out. This one is popped up towards the right side, but that one is foul. Should have been fair. We would have said 3.
And it's funny, talking to Spencer Henson before the game, he said the difference between last year's team and this year's team is a lot of small ball this year. Compared to last year, they had a lot of big hitters. Well, we saw a little bit of both. Runs scoring individually, basically the first 4 or 5 runs were just scored in 1-run margins. And then the last 2 times the Miners have brought people across have been home runs. So a little bit of both. Great sides for the Miners.
2-2 swung on and fouled back from Henson. But absolutely. Henson, a guy who's been here last year, been through it, knows what it takes to win. And finally, the blowout that manager Ben Taylor has been looking for has happened. And we're only in the bottom of the 1st. 2-2 the count to Spencer Henson. The pitch, high for ball 3. So 3 balls now and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 10 runs are in. The Miners are leading 10-1. A good cushion for Asa Lacy to come back to the mound. The pitch into Henson swung on, tipped. Might be no man's land. Henson trying to leg out a single, and he might have. This one's thrown out into right field. He heads on over to second. I believe that'll be an infield single. He'll move over on the error as the Miners will not stop hitting. Spencer Henson, not known for his legs, was able to leg out an infield single there. As the Miners now have 8 hits.
And why not add a Spencer Henson infield hit to the mix? Why don't we? We've seen everything. Let's just keep throwing things onto the table.
We've seen some doubles. We've seen some home runs. We've seen singles. Can we see a triple from Caleb Van Blake? That is the only thing missing to complete the cycle here in the bottom of the first. We've seen a grand slam, a solo homer, as this one is lined foul territory. And I bet if we ask, they're going to be saying the wind was blowing out. A lot of balls traveling a long distance over in right field. 322 along the right field marker. As Justin Jaime was then able to cool down the Flames. The count now, 1 ball and 1 strike to Caleb Van Blake. And Van Blake, a single, came around to score. I'd like to say back in the first, but we're still here. Second trip to the plate for Caleb Van Blake. We're here in the bottom of the first. The pitch high, ball 2.
And this has to be tough if you're the Oilers right now. Making the long trip all the way from Kenai. You were in the lead. You're already on a 3-game losing streak and now already down by 9 runs here in the first inning. Going to take a lot of pride to finish this game out and try to find any wins at possible, moral victories throughout this game.
The 2-1 misses high, goes 3 balls and 1 strike. It's Justin Jaime now. 13 strikes, almost even, 12 balls. 25 pitches in, and he came in relief. The pitch to Caleb Van Blake. This one is smacked out into right field as well. Does he have room? He does not. And it's a fair ball home run for Caleb Van Blake. A long call from Nate DeSantis, but we got it. Caleb Van Blake adds on to the home run parade here in the bottom of the first. A 2-run homer for Caleb Van Blake, his first of the season, and the Miners are leading 12-1 here in the bottom of the first inning.
There's no words. This is insane. Great for the Miners hitters. You have to feel good for them. They've been sort of the back burner of the team all season long, getting sort of a lot of not necessarily criticism, just a little wake-up call that the coaches have been trying to tell them all season long, and finally they're coming through in flying colors. What a way to start a ball game.
Some MVP chants starting for Caleb Van Blake in the dugouts. As now batting for the second time of the inning is Hunter Jump. He swings through and fouls one straight back. And this has just been fun to watch. You know, we've had a lot of close games for the Miners. It's been all pitching for the majority of the time, but now the bats have broken out. It's the Miners 12, the Oilers 1 here in the bottom of the first inning as the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Now to Hunter Jump. There are 2 outs here in the inning. Austin Pianarini with a home run. Caleb Van Blake with a home run as Hunter Jumps swings through and strikes out. But that finally brings an end to the bottom of the first. It's the Matsu Miners 12, the Peninsula Oilers 1. As we enter the top of the second inning, you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Yes, chance breakout in the Miners bullpen in the fashion of Daniel Bryant as they cheered on Austin Pianarini, who got his first home run of the season. He was one of 3 Miners to hit a home run in the bottom of the first. Pianarini and Caleb Van Blake and Kona Quiggle as first pitch into Tyler Duke is in for a called strike. Quiggle with the big one, a grand slam. Foul tipped into the glove of Aaron Walters. Lacey ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. This has been a long time coming for the Miners as the fastball misses low and inside. So the final stat lines on the pitchers in the bottom of the first for the Oilers. After this 1-2, swung on and missed by Tyler Duke. So Asa Lacey sees his teammates and decides to have a little fun himself. 4 strikeouts for the Miners pitcher. But the final stat line for the Oilers, not too pretty. A third of an inning pitched for Brian Wu, allowed 5 hits, 8 runs as fastball misses high and inside to Jake Darrow. 8 runs, all were earned. Gave up 3 walks and 9 batters faced as the pitch hits the zone for strike 1. When Justin Jaime came in the last inning, as this one's fouled off towards the left side and out of play. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jaime came in and tried to cool everything down, but was unable to do so. As the breaking pitch misses outside, count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Darrow.
And you mentioned fun. That is the number one key of the Miners' success right now. They've just been having fun, joking around a lot in the clubhouse. And that last inning of baseball was just pure fun. Guys out there having the times of their lives. And now Lacey doing the same thing on the mound after sort of struggling in that first inning. Comes back, puts a smile on his face, and now is dealing.
The 3-2 swung on, fouled off towards the left side. And for Jaime, 2/3 of an innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, all 2 were earned, and got 2 strikeouts. A 3-2. This one's lined out into left field, but out of play.
And Lacey, what really has been incredible, all 4 of the outs he's had have been strikeouts. So when he does set down Oilers hitters, they are very fooled.
And this one just gets the bat, or it misses and goes all the way to the backstop. A strikeout, but a pass ball. So count it 5 strikeouts for Lacey. But Jake Darrow will get on base. So now the strikeout machine, Lacey will look to do so against the top of the Oilers lineup, Paul Kunst, who he's already struck out once before.
Yeah, and Lacey just looking to do more of the same. Very much a strikeout pitcher, the big southpaw.
As this one is grounded right back to him, throws over to second. Swift has it, firing over to first. The 1-6-3 double play. The Oilers go down quiet here in the top of the second inning. The Miners 12, the Oilers 1 as we head into the home half of the second. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the second inning. The Miners 12, the Oilers 1. And yes, you heard that right. The Matsu Miners in the bottom of the first inning scored 12 runs. Already their highest offensive production to this point in the season. And looking to tack on some more. Aaron Walters, Drew Swift, Brady Merritt due up. Walters at the plate. First pitch from the new reliever, Noah Owen, is too far outside for ball one. The final line on Jaime as Walters lifts this one, a high pop-up over into foul territory. Long first base line is caught by the first baseman, Jorg. That's a first out here in the bottom of the second. So Drew Swift will now bat. He had a single, a hot shot to first base. Would have been a tough play to make. Official scores counted as a single. As this one hits him. Drew Swift gets hit by the pitch as he trots on over. And he looks like he's a little bit hurt.
Yeah, we could hear the thud all the way here from the box, as that was a fastball that missed inside. Going back to that first inning, we've seen in batting practice balls go out from these guys in right field, from these lefties, and it really showed back in that first inning. It finally broke through. Unfortunately for the Oilers, it happened all at once.
Well, finally the Miners are hitting home runs. They were last in the league with only one coming into today. There's three. Brady Merritt pumps one up, and it looks like it might go out of play. It stays in, but nobody catches it. First baseman Jorg had to run a long way to it. The pitcher, Noah Owen, was unable to get there, and the catcher had no idea where it was. So the count, no balls and one strike to Brady Merritt. Merritt reached base on a walk, a 4-pitch walk, as his hometown friend was hit by a pitch in the at-bat before him. Fastball is in the zone for strike 2. So the Miners only scored 2 runs the last time the Oilers came into town. Now they've scored 12. The 0-2 into Merritt, misses low and inside for ball 1.
If you're the Oilers, now you're just looking to just hang on. Play your brand of baseball the rest of the way through. Try not to allow any more runs, and then maybe even tack on a few of your own to go down with some pride.
1-2 the count. Runner on first for the Miners here in the bottom of the second inning. There's one out as this one is hit by Brady Merritt into right field. Another foul ball home run. But fortunately, 3 have found fair territory today. Caleb Van Blake, Austin Pianarini, and Kona Quiggle. All with the long ball. As Brady Merritt was trying to join the home run parade. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes into Merritt. Owens' pitch. Inside, nearly hit him. It bounces away from the catcher McKay. Going down over to second is Drew Swift. So now a runner in scoring position again for the Miners. As Brady Merritt looks to get his 3rd RBI.
And as fast as Swift is, you can't give him any more chances to move over. Now that he's in scoring position, a great chance for the Miners to add in another run.
The 2-2, this one is swung on, poked out, foul territory in left field, moving over to third baseman. He has it for the second out. So this inning going a bit more cleanly for the Oilers as they have 2 away with Kona Quiggle coming back to the plate. He appeared twice in the first. Now here once in the bottom of the second.
Kona definitely the hot bat. Really, the Miners had already had 5 runs but didn't have a big hit. Well, Kona Quiggle provided that last inning with the grand slam.
Miners 12, Oilers 1. The first pitch into Quiggle's a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. And for Noah Owen, out of Oceanside, California, and the University of San Diego, a 3.85 ERA. The count, no balls, and 1 strike to Quiggle. This one looked out all the way for strike number 2. And for Owen, has appeared in 3 games, started 2 of them. Has pitched 9 1/3 of an inning. Has pitched a total of 10 if you count the 2 outs here. The 0-2 misses outside for ball 1. 7 strikeouts and 8 walks, has given up 10 hits on the season. This is Noah's first appearance against the Miners. His last outing coming on June 22nd against the Chinooks. The 1-2 misses inside for ball 2. So 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Runner on second is Drew Swift. At the plate, Kona Quiggle. Quiggle with a walk and a grand slam in today's game. Unbelievable hitting from the entire Miners lineup today, as they lead 12-1. Pitch to Quiggle. This one's lined out into left center field for a base hit. Holding up at third is Drew Swift. The throw comes all the way home on a 1 hop from the outfielder Novus. Third time Kona Quiggle has reached base today, his second hit in only 2 innings. We're here in the bottom of the second inning, coming to you live from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Connor Mills and Brad Walker with you on the call, as this has been a fun one to call, and we're not even a third of the way through.
It really has. And that last hit from Kona Quiggle was very nice. He sort of struggled with those outside pitches, but had worked on it, and it shows right there. Shortened the swing, straight to the point, just slapped it out into left field.
Bassetti comes up as he takes a breaking pitch low and outside. Bassetti today had a single, came around to score, and struck out in the first. Runners at the corners for the Miners. And with the game out of hand now for the Oilers, manager Ben Taylor, he doesn't really run up the score. So you're not going to see Kona in motion as a foul ball by Bassetti. On a pass ball, Taylor might hold up Swift.
Well, I doubt that, because baseball is still baseball. They will definitely play to win, and they're not going to let up entirely and just give away these last 8 innings. Because you're here to play baseball, you're here to improve, and you don't want to waste any opportunity at that.
Running up the score is something Taylor does not do, though, as a curveball misses low for ball 2. And I get what you're saying. But it's the little things, like with runners on the corners, you might have Quiggle steal here if the score was closer, but with a 12-1 lead, not really necessary.
No, not at all. But if the opportunity arises where Swift can head home, they'll definitely take it.
So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Tyler Bassetti. It's the bottom of the second inning. Long hold from Owen. He deals low and outside, and the bases are loaded yet again. The second straight inning here in the bottom of the second. And that brings up the bat of Austin Pianarini. Had a long home run his last time up. Got all of the 322 down the right field line. As it looks like the pitching coach, Ryan Duran, will have a chat with his new reliever this inning, Noah Owen. At this time, I'd like to thank our internet sponsor, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, owner Jim Ruda. If you're here in Alaska, stop by your locally operated and owned Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. Also, a PSA from the Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver. They would like to remind our friends and neighbors, when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
So once again, the Miners very threatening, even though really don't have to be with this 11-run lead, and only in the second inning. Long mountain visit from the Oilers. Got to wonder what Pianarini's approach to the bat is going to be right here.
Well, we see some of the Oilers warming up a little bit. Looks like a new reliever is coming in to stretch out. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the second. The Miners lead 12-1. Austin Pianarini, his last time up, it was up, and away, and goodbye. As the first pitch into him is low and away for ball one. 3 home runs coming in the bottom of the first. 1 from Pianarini, 1 from Quiggle, and 1 from Caleb Van Blake, as this one is hit into right center field. Moving back as a center fielder, he's not going to be able to get it. 1 run is in as Drew Swift. A second run, Kona Quiggle is coming in. Tyler Bassetti rounds third. He heads home. This lead has been extended. The Miners 15. The Oilers 1. A bases clearing 3 RBI double for Austin Pianarini. The hit parade continues.
And just a simple celebration from the bullpen. We've seen some crazy antics out there in right field. This time, just a simple stand-up, golf clap, and sit down for Pianarini.
So Spencer Henson comes to the plate. Henson so far today, 2 singles. Had an RBI in the first, came around to score, and then scored again in the first. First pitch into Henson is low and inside for ball 1. And Austin Pianarini, 4 RBIs on the day. That ties Kona Quiggle for the lead for the Miners with 11. Second pitch into Henson. This one is hit high out into left field, but it looks like it will stay in the park. Novus eyes it up, makes the catch, and the second inning has come to an end. So the Miners tack on 3 more. And the bottom of the second, they lead the Peninsula Oilers 15-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the top of the third inning. The Miners leading the Oilers 15-1. Ryan Novus, Ryan Cook, and Grant Wood do up as first pitch into Novus is fouled off towards the right side. The Miners' bats did not go quietly in the second. They tacked on 3 runs thanks to the bat of Austin Pianarini. A 3 RBI double as the second pitch into Novus is fouled off towards the right side. Miners bullpen doing a little run. Staying loose. Having fun.
Yeah, and you have to. This has been a long 2 innings with all this scoring from the Miners, so you got to stay warm and stay loose in preparation if you have to come on later in the ball game.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count to Ryan Novus. And it looks like things are falling onto the field, and that's going to be a ball, a swing and a miss from Ryan Novus. The 6th strikeout of the game for Asa Lacey. We have the cottonwood flying around a little bit, but that was a baseball handed out to a fan along the Miners bullpen. A nice gesture. I think that was Hank Boyer giving it out. So Lacey now will face Ryan Cook as first pitch swinging as Cook fouls it back.
And it's all about community here in Palmer. The Miners love to interact with the fans, and the fans love to interact with the Miners.
Second pitch in is for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. The Miners 11 hits as this one from Cook is fouled straight back.
Mentioned it's been a long first 2 innings. It's been just over an hour since we have thrown the first pitch here at Herman Brothers.
A long, almost 3 innings as a swing and a miss. Asa Lacey is dealing. Lacey, his 7th strikeout in the top of the third inning.
And the scary thing is, with all the pitches that Lacey has in his arsenal, he can now toy with them with this huge lead, and he's connecting with them, so the Oilers hitters are really fooled and don't know what to expect.
First pitch fastball to Grant Wood misses high and in for ball 1. So the hitting performance has been tremendous for the Miners as a fastball is fouled off towards the right side, stays in play, retrieved by Ian Churchill. But missed in all this is the pitching performance from Lacey. As a fastball right down the middle. That was a good one as the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's ahead on Grant Wood. Looking to strike out the side is Lacey and a foul ball. Wood is able to foul it off as Lacey. Big smile.
Just looks like Lacey is loose out there, having fun on the mound, watching his teammates hit is only helping his pitching.
The 1-2. Check swing from Wood. Did he go? He did not. First base umpire Nate DeSantis says no. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lacey from the windup, he deals high for ball 3. Lacey has not walked anyone yet. As this count is full. 3-2. Swung on and fouled back. So Wood able to stay alive. Only 1 batter was not retired by a strikeout, and that was Paul Kunst in the top of the second. It was something even better, a 1-6-3 double play. As this one is grounded over to short, Swift makes a bare hand play, fires over to first, a high one, but good enough for Spencer Henson. Asa Lacey sitting down. The Peninsula Oilers, 1-2-3 here in the top of the third. We're heading towards the bottom of the third. Miners up by 15. Score 15-1. As you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Caleb Van Blake, Hunter Jump, Aaron Walters due up here in the bottom of the third inning. The Matsu Miners are leading the ABL leading Peninsula Oilers. But if things go the way they're going now, the Miners will be right at the top. Van Blake, his last time up in the first inning, he hit a home run. His first pitch into him from the new pitcher, Austin Merrill, is in for a ball. So Noah Owen, who Merrill comes in to relieve after this pitch, is too far outside to Van Blake. Owen went one inning, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, all were earned. Gave up a walk, and 7 batters were faced. The longest outing for an Oiler pitcher. This one looks like it's going to be a pitching by bullpen committee. As fastball misses high and inside Van Blake. And Van Blake, we said before, on base, .563 as an on-base percentage. It's relatively brand new. He looks to continue his streak here as he takes a called strike with the count 3-0, so it goes to 3-1.
Yeah, Van Blake doing a nice job of late. Didn't quite come out of the gate too hot for the Miners, but ever since it's really picked it up.
The 3-1 misses inside, so Van Blake is on base for the 3rd time today as we're here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Miners 15, the Oilers 1.
Your DH number 14, Hunter Jump.
Hunter Jump comes to the plate. Jump had a walk and a strikeout in the first inning. He stands in here against Austin Merrill. Fastball outside for ball 1. It's a sunny day here at Herman Brothers Field. A little breeze headed towards center field, maybe right field. As American flag is flying. Count 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch to Jump hits the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Van Blake, he's over at first. As the Miners have had a base runner in all 3 innings. The 1-1. This one is lined foul on the left side. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Jump, one of only 2 Miners hitters to currently not have a hit. All have reached base.
The 1-2 swung on, ground ball towards the hole. There's his base hit. Caleb Van Blake holds at second and on first. With his first hit of the day is Hunter Jump. The Miners are seeing the ball really well. It doesn't matter who the Oilers are throwing out there. They're just going to hit them.
And you mentioned it doesn't matter who it is. Just one of those days where every pitch you see, the ball looks extremely huge and it looks like you have a tennis racket in your hand and you're absolutely hitting greatly out of the ball. It almost looks like we're watching BP.
So that'll bring up Aaron Walters. The catcher takes a fastball high and away for ball 1. And finally, the philosophy and everything that Ben Taylor has been teaching these guys is starting to come through, and it's come through in a huge way. A 15-1 lead in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch into Walters inside for ball 2. Austin Merrill from Carlsbad, California, a sophomore from Chapman University. A school very well known for their film. 2-0 the count. No outs. This one is poked out into left field, taking a couple steps back and circling under it. It's going to be in the infield. It's the shortstop Kunst. Aaron Walters is retired with the top fly. I'll bring up Drew Swift.
Your shortstop number 2, Drew Swift.
Swift today had a single and reached base on a hit by pitch. Runners on first and second. First pitch into Swift is taken for a strike, dropped by the new catcher, Ballholm. Bronson Ballholm comes in to replace McKay. Ballholm from Los Angeles, California, a freshman at Beloit College. There's a brand new pitcher and brand new catcher here in the bottom of the third. The pitch, this one gets away from Ballholm, as the runners will take a slow trot over to second and third. So over on third is Caleb Van Blake. On second, Hunter Jump. Aaron Walters popped up to short. And Drew Swift is batting with a 1-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 from Merrill. Swung on, fouled off. A check swing foul from Swift.
Swift thinking about swinging, but that fastball was too high, so it forced him to think about it. So he dribbles it off.
1-2 the count, one away. Runners on second and third. The pitch into Swift, a curveball, line back, and foul.
Swift did a nice job of watching that curveball go all the way into the zone and hit the bat right where it was landing. Fortunately, it was just a bit under it.
So the count remains 1-2 strikes. The pitch, line drive, right back up the middle for a base hit. One run is in, rounding third and heading for home. The throw will not be in time. Hunter Jump scores. Caleb Van Blake scored ahead of him. And with a 2 RBI single is Drew Swift. The Miners keep tacking them on here in the bottom of the third. It's now Matsu, 17. The Peninsula Oilers, 1. So Braden Merritt makes his trip to the plate. The 9 batter takes a fastball high and away for ball 1.
Just been an absolute display of hitting for the Miners. Incredible night, and they'll remember this one for probably the rest of their careers.
Second pitch into Merritt is taken low and away. And, I give home plate umpire Scott Johnson some credit here. When games like this start getting away, the strike zone tends to become just a little bit bigger. And he's been consistent with his zone so far, with a 17-1 lead for the Miners. Third pitch in, breaking ball hits the outside corner. That puts a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. And for Merritt, as this one bounces away, but holding at first is Drew Swift. So the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Merritt batting average right now at .207. And Swift has raised his to above the Mendoza line. And he's now batting .219. The 3-1 hits the inside corner, another curveball, 12-6. Puts the count at full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gotta admire Merrill's stirrups right now, really rocking that look. Him and Bozetti really starting a fashion trend here in the ABL.
I've always enjoyed the stirrups. R.A. Dickey for the Mets had them. The pitch into Merritt, line drive out into left field. That's a base hit. Drew Swift and now Braden Merritt, both from Hamilton, Arizona, have tacked on runs here in the bottom of the third.
And now every single Miner has gotten a hit today.
Merritt,
absolutely incredible.
Merritt raised his batting average to .233. So it's time to pad the stats for the Miners, respectively, of course. No hit and runs, no stolen bases, probably. Kona Quiggle has reached base every time at the plate. Got on with a walk, had a big grand slam, and then a single. Not exciting as a grand slam, but nonetheless gets the job done. Count 1 ball and no strikes to Conaquiggle as he pops this one up center field. Actually, it's going to be more towards left in second base. Second baseman Berkey ranges out and makes a play. So the wind, I guess, was blowing towards right and took that pitch, as that's the second out in the bottom of the third. Conaquiggle retired for the first time today.
Yeah, really, he's been on fire. 2 for 2 and then reached back in the first on a walk. One of 4 minor hitters that have had an at-bat so far in every inning. Or rather, he's the only one through 3 innings to have every single at-bat.
First pitch into Bizzetti, misses high and away. And Bizzetti has also hit in every inning. Twice in the first, once in the second, and now here once in the third. Then for Bizzetti, had a single, struck out, and got on with a walk. The 1-0 pitch misses low, makes the count 2-0. And this is the kind of day the Miners have been waiting all season long for. A big hitting performance. And now we can start seeing some pitchers should Lacey need to be replaced on the mound. He's been dealing so far, so I foresee no reason to. But, some of the pitchers that might not have been getting into games, we haven't seen Kyle King in a long time. Hank Boyer has the last pitch into Bizzetti, misses inside. But Boyer, King, Butcher, Monahan should see some new faces. The 3-0 hits the inside corner, goes to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and really the Miners have been waiting to get these big leads so they can add on or throw in some of their bullpen guys that normally don't see work in tight games to see what they have. Today's going to be a great example of that.
And 3-1 into Bizzetti. A breaker in for a called strike, so the count goes to 3-2 and 2 out. We will see if the runners will be in motion. They may or may not be. With a 17-1 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. The 3-2 outside, ball 4. So Tyler Bizzetti reaches base for the third time today. As that will bring up yet again Austin Pinarini. Pinarini so far tied today with 4 RBIs. Tied with Quiggle for the most.
Yeah, now the Miners in the first 3 innings have loaded the bases up in all of 3 of these innings and have capitalized, getting all 3 men across. Obviously in the first with the grand slam. And as you just mentioned, in the second with the 3 RBI double from Pinarini.
As the first pitch to Austin, misses for a ball.
Tell you what a night for baseball. Absolutely beautiful evening. 65, slight breeze, just enough cloud coverage.
Nothing like playing baseball when it's good weather here in Alaska, as that fastball hits the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's not too hot, and at times it's not too cold.
I tell you what, the fans are still out tonight. Absolutely loving this hitting display.
The 1-1 bounces in the dirt. 2-1.
And typically fans love to see high scoring games. And the Miners have definitely provided that with 17. And actually on the scoreboard, it's flashing 1 and then a 2 because of the 12 runs back in the first inning.
So the count sits at 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch hits the low and outside corner for Pinarini. So the count evens itself out at 2-2. And today with this game, shout us out. Ask us some questions. We'll be more than happy to answer. The pitch, line drive out into center field. This one looks like it'll be in play, and Darrow will make the catch. So the Miners tack on 2 more as they extend their lead at 17-1. Matsu as we head into the top of the 4th. I'll be throwing it over to my fellow commentator, Brad Walker.
7. The second winner, 67-68, 460.
Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field for tonight's matchup as we enter into the fourth inning with the Miners on top of the Oilers 17-1. Yes, that's right. If you're just tuning in, the score is 17-1. The Miners exploded back in the first inning with 12 runs, then have been slowly adding on more since. So stepping in to the plate for the Miners, or the Oilers in the fourth inning, is second baseman Evan Berkey. He's 0 for 0 tonight, reached on a hit by pitch back in the first inning. And since the first inning, the Oilers have not had a run yet as Berkey flies one over to the right side. And June 27th, not a super famous day in history, Connor. But birthday-wise, there's some pretty big names. Helen Keller's birthday would have been today. Tobey Maguire is celebrating his 43rd. Berkey flies one back to the fence. Henry the 8th's birthday would have been today.
Really?
Or would have been tomorrow, or is going to be tomorrow with John Elway's birthday will be tomorrow. He'll be 57. So Helen Keller and Tobey Maguire's birthday today. Very interesting on the 27th here of June as Lacey delivers a breaking ball, misses high, counts 1 and 2. And actually, little women can give themselves a pat on the back as the first women's magazine, the Ladies Mercury, was published in 1693 on this date. As Berkey, he slaps one in the left center field, but moving over to his left and making the catch is Kona Quibble for out number 1. So those are some of your significant events that happened on this date. So like I said, not a super huge day in history, but it will go down for the Miners, dropping 12 runs so far in that first inning. With one down, that brings up Bronson Ballholm. This is his first time hitting tonight as he came in last inning to catch. So he takes ball 1 outside. Ballholm this season only has 10 at-bats, does not have a hit yet. He's out of Los Angeles, California, as he takes a strike 1-1. He attends Beloit College. So Lacey winds and delivers the 1-1. Has Ballholm thinking about it, but it was a called strike. Beloit College in Wisconsin. Out of Wisconsin, I should say. So the 1-2 from Lacey has Ballholm looking at it for strike 3, and that is Asa Lacey's 8th strikeout of the night. He's really dealing out there on the mound tonight, Connor.
Well, we saw Jonathan Guardado. He got 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. This is 8 strikeouts in 4. Not even 4. It's, what is it, 3 2/3?
3 2/3, yeah.
So very impressive coming out from Asa Lacey today.
So Lacey's first pitch into Michael Yorg, the left-hander hitting first baseman, misses outside for a ball. So he'll fall in the count early. 1-0. Asa Lacey, the big left-hander out of A&M. His next pitch nails the outer edge. The count has now moved to 1-1. So Lacey definitely dealing out there, has a huge lead. The score is 17-1. Miners atop as Michael York swings through. And he's now down on the count 1-2. We're in the top half of the fourth inning with 2 outs. Asa Lacey still pitching on the mound for the Miners. He winds and delivers. He nails the outer edge. That'll do it. Once again, for the 3rd straight inning, sets down the Oilers 3 in a row. And the Miners will head into the home half of the 4th inning with a massive lead, 17-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field. The Miners with a very commanding lead, to say the least, 17-1 over the Oilers currently. As we move into the home half of the fourth inning, we'll see a new man on the mound for the Oilers. So through 4 innings, we have seen now 5 pitchers. Andrew Lopez is the 5th pitcher for the Oilers. He comes in. This is going to be his 7th appearance, and through 6, has a save in 14 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, and has wrapped up a 1.28 ERA. He is out of Chicago State, the right-hander. So he'll face Henson, Van Blake, and Jump are due up. Never know if you were going to see any pinch hitters with this massive lead, as Henson looks at ball 1 inside.
Well, we do see Van Blake on deck, so we know he's up next.
Though Lopez nails the inner edge, 1-1. Lopez hails from San Diego, otherwise known as famous town that Rob Burgundy hosted news for. As he hits inside, the count is now moved to 1-2. From the famous movie Anchorman. Really a great film. Not a great sequel, but the first movie was absolutely hilarious.
You know, I still have to see that.
Oh my goodness, you really need to get on your movie game. The 1-2 in Henson misses high.
I saw The Incredibles the other day. That was incredible.
The Incredibles really was good. That was one of the best sequels I think I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. And I was so surprised on how packed the theater was, as Lopez's 2-2 is lined in the right center field from Henson. He'll jog onto first with a leadoff single to begin the bottom half of this 4th inning. And going back to The Incredibles, it really was incredible at how it was sold out. It was, we saw it 4 days after it came out or so?
I think there was about 5 seats left in the theater.
No, I believe it was sold out like
Really?
10 minutes before the film. Yes. And the most astonishing was someone ordered a pizza like right before the movie starts. So got everyone very hungry, and Lopez's first pitch to Caleb Van Blake misses low. Van Blake today has seen at-bats in 2 of the 3 innings so far. He is 2 for 2 today and walked back in the 3rd, and in that long first inning hit a home run and also had a RBI single. So he looks again at a ball, 2-0. So going back to Andrew Lopez, he's actually transferred from Southwestern College in Chula Vista. So he pitched 2 seasons where he appeared in 20 games in 2017. A broken bat dribbler over to the second baseman, Berkey, who sort of has trouble picking it up, so he has to go to first for the easy out. And Caleb Van Blake is retired for out number 1 at the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners still on top of the Oilers, 17-1, as Spencer Henson reached the second on the fielder's choice. That broken bat was scary. It actually went over towards first base umpire Nate DeSantis.
Yeah, well, Nate kind of just ducked out of the way, saw the bat coming. Would have been impressive if he could catch it, but I don't blame him for running. The bat is a different beast than a ball coming your way. Do not want to get hit with one of those. Might need one of the hard hats from the Miners bullpen.
Yeah, you might have to. So Hunter Jump will stand in. He is 1 for 2 today. Walked and struck out back in the first inning. And then got a base hit back in the 3rd. So he looks at a first pitch ball. Lopez says the best advice he's ever gotten is to never quit. And an interesting fact is he always puts on his jersey the same before every single game. So a little superstition out of the right-handed thrower for the Oilers as Jump fouls one out of play over to the left side. So Hunter Jump stands in, and we mentioned it on other broadcasts, but talking to Hunter today and had a few jokes with him on how he got a starting gig at Arizona State this past year. Told his coach he could throw 87 as he fouls one out of play again to the left side. Count is now at 1-2. Could throw 87. Took him 2 pitches, 86 on the first, then nailed 87. He told me that the first person to ask him about it was one of the players, because Hunter said he did pitch back in high school and then stopped when he got to college. But that's awesome.
Hey, like we said, any way that you can get into the starting lineup.
1-2 from Jump, or into Jump, is fouled over to the left side.
Any way you can get into the starting lineup and get your shot, you do it. You know, sometimes it's hitting 87 on the radar gun, or other times it's hitting 300.
Yeah, now he's down on the count with one down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The score is 17-1. Spencer Henson stands on second. And Jump lines one down the right field line, foul. So the count will stay at 1-1, or 1-2 rather, with one out. So Jump looks to extend as the Miners with 14 hits scored 17 runs. The Oilers are on quite the opposite side. Only one run on 3 hits. And they also have 2 errors as well. Or rather, 1 error. And take that, the Miners 15 hits instead of 14. So Jump looks at a ball, 2-2, 1 down, bottom of the fourth inning. Miners on top 17-1. Lopez's pitch is swung on by Jump softly into left center field, and on his horse and ranging just in front of the center fielder Darrow is the left fielder Novus, and making the catch for out number 2. So we have 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Well, sliding out of the way was Darrow. He made room for Novus to come over and make the play. A little in right center field's coming a long way, but the play was made, and Oilers take a sigh of relief.
Aaron Walters stands in. He's 1 for 3 today, as he's the left-handed hitting catcher man behind the plate today. First pitch from Lopez into Walters, misses low. He has to hop out of the way of it. Connor, how long did the baseball player spend in the library?
I don't know. How long did he?
Well, it was 5 minutes. It was a shortstop.
Ah, okay.
So which baseball player loved fireplaces?
The catcher?
Mickey Mantle.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me for like a position here. You're going to go Mickey Mantle?
No. As the Walters takes ball 2, count has moved to 2-0.
The catcher's at home, a fireplace. You see it at home, That wasn't a bad answer.
No, it wasn't. It's just you seem very defensive about it. Walters skies one, right side shallow infield, and ranging over trying to make the catches the pitcher Lopez. They will say, though, that it landed foul. Lopez's glove was in foul territory when it dropped out of it. So the count will move to 2-2, and Aaron Walters is given a second life. Walters also out of Texas A&M. Just finished up his freshman season. Comes out of Center Point, Texas. And actually, its original name was Zanzenberg, rather. So interesting how it changed to that. That's kind of a 2 varying names. As Walters, the 2-1 is taken inside for strike number 2. The count has now moved to 2-2. With 2 outs, bottom of the fourth, Miners atop 17-1. Spencer Henson still stands out there in second. The wind is blowing from the left side to the right. And Walters has worked the count full. Happened many times to the Miners tonight. They're working all of these Oilers pitchers. Lopez trying to become the first to not allow a run to the Miners. But he is in a full count. Darren Walters, who has an RBI to his name already tonight. Lopez's 3-2 pitch is rocketed over right side foul into that Miners bullpen. Good thing they have the hard hats on because it might get a little dangerous out there.
They do. They even have somebody directing traffic. Somebody was watching the ball go.
Well, that's good that the boys are having fun out there. The payoff pitch to Walters misses high. He'll reach base. So the Miners have drawn 7 walks tonight. That's Lopez's first walk issued. As Walters is on first, Henson still out on second. That brings up Drew Swift, having 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. So righty on righty matchup as Lopez comes set, chest high. His first pitch into Swift is soared over to the right side and out of play.
And we are inching closer and closer to manager Ben Taylor's 300th win. I believe we're around 5 or 6. We'll have to get the exact number at the postgame show.
And Swift dribbles one over to second. Berkey tosses over to Kunst for out number 3. And for the first inning this game, the Miners are shut out, but still hold that very big lead over the Oilers, 17-1, head into the 5th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field, where the Miners very strong lead over the Oilers, 17-1. So Duke, Darrow, and Kunstu up for the Oilers, the 8-9-1 hitters. They'll face Asa Lacey, who's dealing through 4. Only allowed 3 hits and 1 run as he misses high and inside for ball 1 to Tyler Duke. Lacey's 1-0, hits the inner edge, 1-1. Lacey's 1-1 pitch, misses high. So Lacey's 2-1, misses low and away. The count has now worked to 3-1. Lacey out of Kerrville, Texas. And actually, the H.E. Butt Grocery Company, which is also referred to as H.E.B., was founded in Kerrville back in 1905, Connor. So Texas, as Lacey nails the outer edge for strike 2. Counts worked full. His full count pitch hits the inner corner for strike number 3. Count it 10th strikeout now for Asa Lacey.
This is just unbelievable. It's the great hitting, and now we get to look at the pitching performance from Lacey. Tremendous 10 strikeouts through 4 1/3.
And it really is a great performance and a well-needed performance for Lacey. Sort of struggled, only went 3 2/3, I believe, in his last start. So really good for him to come out. And when you have that huge lead, you can pitch loosely, sort of work with different things, and he's showing it off tonight. So he misses high for ball 1. Next pitch into Jake Darrow, misses high as well. Count has now worked to 2-0. So Haley, ailing from the birthplace of H.E.B., which for many of you may be up north, and where I'm from, Northeast Ohio, it's Denning makes the nice play, moving over to his right and charging in for out number 2. May not know of H.E.B., but it is a major grocery chain in Texas. That's where Asa Lacey hails from. So 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. The Miners still on top, 17-1. Paul Kuntz comes in. He's 0 for 2 today, grounding out into a double play in his last at-bat. First pitch into Kuntz, misses outside. The count is now 1-0. So Kuntz out of Novato, California. Right-handed hitting shortstop. He misses in. Lacey misses inside. Count is now 2-0. The wonderful crowd tonight as Kuntz, the warm burner, over to Connor Denning, makes the nice routine play for out number 3. So the Oilers going down quickly once again in the 5th inning. 3 up, 3 down in the Miners with that big lead over the Oilers, 17-1. Keep it here on Natsu Miners Radio. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Matsu Miners. Braden Merritt stands in. Merritt just celebrating his 20th birthday yesterday, as he is 1 for 2. Walk back in the first inning and a hit back in the second as he swings through strike number 1. So he's down on the count 0-1. He'll face Grant Wood, who was playing third, has now just recently moved over onto the mound, and he's ahead in the count 0-2. So Wood, the two-way player for the Oilers. His 0-2 pitch to Merritt is grounded hard and takes a weird hop off the lip and now rolls into right field. So the Miners once again get their leadoff hitter on. And now for the 5th straight inning, the Miners get their leadoff man on. So 5 for 5 tonight in that aspect. That brings up Kona Quiggle, who's definitely had a hot bat tonight, was retired for the first time last inning. Before that, he was 2 for 2. 2 for 3 overall now with a walk, a couple hits, one of those hits being a grand slam. Grant Wood is out of Jefferson City, Missouri, and Murray State. This is his first time pitching for the Oilers as he delivers a first pitch strike to Quiggle. He'll work out of the stretch. His 0-1 to Quiggle, flied over to the left side. And ranging under it is Bryce Big L. And he sort of loses it and drops down to the turf as that ball will drop as well. So Quiggle's down on the count 0-2. Kona Quiggle recently shaving a goatee for his facial hair in honor of Spain, who he was rooting for to win the World Cup. Which very exciting match we watched this morning, Connor, between Argentina and Nigeria.
A thrilling one. It's always fun to listen to the Spanish color commentators like the screaming goal for the last 5 minutes, and the goal has already happened.
Well, they're so enthusiastic, and that's why I absolutely love to watch it and listen to the Spanish commentators. And also, it was great for Argentina as Quiggle soars one high in the air into center field, moving a few steps back, and now in is Darrow for out number 1. And it was cool for Argentina because they needed a goal. And with, I believe, 3 minutes to go, they finally got it to advance into the next round of the World Cup, the round of 16. And it was really cool for a legend like Lionel Messi to do something like that. You would hate for him to go out in a bad fashion with so much expectation. So it was definitely cool. And it's been fun watching the World Cup. It's been early here in the morning here in Alaska. But when you wake up, it's a cool thing to turn on.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's always been Messi versus Ronaldo right now. So he still has a chance to improve his legacy.
As Grant Wood's first pitch into Tyler Bozzetti misses outside. And you're right, Ronaldo with Portugal, they were easily in the driver's seat to make the round of 16. And then their final game almost lost to Iran, which would have gotten them out of the top 2 in their group. Luckily, they pulled through and got the tie as Ronaldo missed a penalty kick. So Ronaldo and Messi have missed penalty kicks, which I don't think anyone could have imagined.
No, probably not.
Nevertheless, the 2-0 pitch from Grant Wood is chopped foul by Tyler Bozzetti. And so the Bucks and Pilots squaring off tonight up in Anchorage. Battle of the bottom 2 teams. They're both tied at 7-11 and are 4 back. So the 2-1 pitch into Bozzetti hits the inner edge for strike 2. So the count's tied up at 2. With 1 down. Bottom of the 5th inning. Miners on top 17-1. Heard that right? 17-1. The Wood from the stretch. Bozzetti looks at another ball. The count is now full with 1 down. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And around the MLB, for any of you Major League fans out there, the White Sox are on top of the Twins 8-4. Cubs on top of the Dodgers 8-2. And in the 9th inning, the Rockies are trailing the Giants 3-2. The Woods 3-2 into Bozzetti. Jam's job over in the 1-hopper to Berkey is retrieved, and he throws over to second for the easy second out. But Bozzetti will reach on the fielder's choice. Rather, they're going to call another out, I believe, for interference because Merritt was in the way of the second shortstop, Kunst. And that won the inning. So the Miners once again are set down scoreless after they got a hit. And they still hold that major lead, 17-1. Top of the sixth inning here at Herman Brothers Field. The Oilers struggling to find some hits right now. They're down 17-1. They've only rallied 3 hits. Ryan Novus stands in, the right-handed hitting left fielder. And we were mentioning the MLB scores right now as Lacey's first pitch into Novus is popped out into right and moving over. Can of corn for out number 1 in the 6th inning. We mentioned the Giants on top of the Rockies. Someone better give skipper Ben Taylor that news. Huge Giants fan.
Yes, he is.
So if the Giants go on to win, he's going to have himself a great night, especially if the Miners can hold on to, in which it's very likely they'll hold on to this lead.
Well, I do know General Manager Pete Christopher is thrilled. The Mets, and I'm also thrilled. We're both big Met fans, but Mets beat the Pirates today 4-3. And for those of you who may or may not know, the general manager, Sandy Alderson of the Mets, had to step down, and there will be a 3-way general manager position filling his hole as Alderson had a recurrence of cancer appear. So he will be taking a leave of absence, but the good news is it looks like it will be treatable. He will be all right. And moving words from the Mets manager, Mickey Callaway, as the Mets and Callaway himself just learned 20 minutes before the game.
Lacey has worked a 2-2 count to Bryce Big L, who came in at third base for Grant Wood, and in his first at-bat, he strikes out. And give it the parallel lines as Asa Lacey now 11 strikeouts. And I tell you what, it may be because of the looseliness and how much fun this Miners team is having this game, but Lacey is absolutely pitching a gem, and it'll probably be looked over just a little bit just because of the hitting display.
Yes, it will. And just to get back to Mickey Callaway, he called Sandy Alderson a badass Marine. Very tough, and was very, of course, led the Mets to the 2015 World Series. Big part in that. So we wish Sandy Alderson the best in his recovery.
So the count's tied at 1 with 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Miners atop 17-1. As Grant Wood now stands in, the pitcher for the Oilers. And Lacey's 1-1 into Wood, misses low and in. Wood, one of the only 3 hits today for the Oilers. He's 1 for 2. So the Miners looking to close this out and then take that half-game lead in the ABL as Lacey delivers low. Count is now tied at 2. As we see the Miners bullpen up, and most of them are just stretching, just trying to stay warm. And Lacey nods, and his 2-2 pitch is chopped over to first base. Henson backhand and then toss over to first. Lacey was covering, and Lacey absolutely dealing right now with 4 or rather 5 straight scoreless innings. Miners still on top, 17-1. We head into the home half of the 6th on Matsu Miners Radio.
For the Oilers to play left field.
7th new pitcher for the Oilers is now out on the mound. No man has gone longer than 1 inning as Paul Kunst comes in from shortstop, and Berkey moves over to short, and Wood will now go to second base. So that's some of your changes for the Oilers. As Wood came in, he had one of the easily best performances of the night. 3 innings pitched, no runs. Did give up a hit, however, but left him stranded. So Austin Pinarini will step in. Left-handed hitting right fielder. He'll take a strike inside for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. Miners on top, 17-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch from Kunst misses well outside. So the 1-1 is shot over to first base. Having trouble with it is York, but recovers in time to toss over to first for the first out of the evening, or the 6th inning. A 3-1 put out. And Spencer Henson will step in. He is 3 for 4 today. Got 2 hits back in the first inning. Flew out in the second. And base hit in the 4th. Spencer Henson out of Oral Roberts, where he did win the Triple Crown for the Summit League this past season. And Kunst's pitch, I believe, was supposed to be an off speed, but misses high and inside and hits Spencer Henson. He'll reach, so the Miners have now had a base runner in every single inning. And that brings up Connor Denning for the first time tonight. Connor Denning stepping in for Caleb Van Blake. So Denning's batting 158 on the season. This is only his 20th at bat. 7 hits. Switch hitting. Now second baseman. First pitch from Kunst misses low. Count is now at 1-0. What really has been a long game. The 2-hour mark has passed, and we're only in the 6th inning. First pitch from Kunst misses well inside. Denning had to hop back. 2-0. So Spencer Henson standing on first. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And 2-0 is fouled off over to the left side. Count is now moved to 2-1. So 2-1, 1 down, bottom of the 7th inning. And on first, Spencer Henson, who hails from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, as Denning takes another strike, count tied at 2. It was a site of a small Civil War battle, actually, back in July 3rd of 1862, where 250 Union troops surprised the small-sized Confederate troops. So an interesting site where Henson's from is Denning fouls one over the left side. A little bit of history to Henson's name.
Absolutely.
Always fun when you can have those little historical sites in the small town. Gives them something to be known about. So Kunst count at 2-2. His pitch misses inside. The count is now full. So Kunst with that kind of funky delivery. And this is his first time pitching for the Oilers tonight. So he stands in from the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Denning skies one high in the air into right field. But camped under and making the catch is the right fielder Duke for out number 2. More juice under it that may have had a chance to go out. But so Hunter Jump stands in, the designated hitter. He is 2 for 4 today. So righty on lefty matchup between Jump and Kunst. Jump out of Arizona State, hails from Orange County, California. First pitch from Kunst, big off speed, almost Ephus-esque for strike number 1.
Hey, I knew we'd see an Ephus sometime this season, right?
And when you're a position guy that normally doesn't pitch, you got to try out. You don't normally try out pitches. So really anything goes right now. So the 0-1 from Jump is smashed right side of the field. That's going to go foul. 4 out, or for strike number 2. Or rather, strike 1 counts at 1-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Miners 17 in the Oilers 1.
Now, if we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Anchorage Bucks are leading the Pilots 3-0 as that game's in the bottom of the 8th.
So this pitch will miss well outside from Kunst. In the Miners, 63 runs coming into tonight. They've almost scored a third of that this evening with 17. But that's been kind of quiet since the 3rd inning, I should say, as Kunst misses inside. But we saw this yesterday. The Miners came out 3 runs in the first 3 innings. We thought that was huge. Nevertheless, we didn't expect this.
No, this really came out of nowhere, but we've enjoyed it. The Mats have been working in the cage. They've been working on the field, and it's great to see this production.
This ball bounced hard over to first, and York, he has trouble transitioning from mitt to hand, and he will step on first for out number 3. And that ends the 6th inning. The Miners once again go down quietly. No runs scored. They still leave 17-1. So we head into the 7th inning. And for the final 3 innings, we'll throw it back over to Connor Mills on the call.
We're back in the top of the 7th inning. It's the Matsu Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1. Coming in for relief off of a tremendous performance from Asa Lacey. Relieving him is Jake Terry. Lacey, 6 innings pitched. He allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, and 11. Count them 11 strikeouts. A great day on the mound for Asa Lacey and a great day at the plate for the Miners. Jake Terry comes in for relief, a right-hander, 6'4", 193 pounds from Oklahoma. A freshman there, hometown Sand Springs, Oklahoma. And he goes against Evan Berkey, Bronson Balholm, and Michael Jorg, all due up in the inning. After a small chat with Aaron Walters, Terry is ready. Digs in as he faces Berkey. First pitch into him is swinging a pop fly, coming back near the press box is Aaron Walters, and he makes the catch. Nice play from Walters, popping up. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jake Terry as this game is moving. 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Jake Terry has normally been a starter the first 2 times we've seen him this season, coming in work of relief, and another one of those guys got to test out his stuff.
So now that brings up to the plate Bronson Balholm. Came in to catch in the 4th inning. First pitch was a ball from Terry. Second pitch in there for a called strike. Evens up the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like the Oilers have another pitcher warming up in the bullpen as a swing and a miss. From Bronson Broholm. 1-2 the count, 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Terry on the mound, pitching from the windup. He deals, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So that would be the 12th strikeout on the day, the first for Jake Terry, as the strikeouts just keep on coming. That'll bring up Michael Jorg, the first baseman. Jorg today, he struck out. Yeah, he struck out. 11 strikeouts. You're going to have a couple tough performances at the plate. This one is swung on, foul tipped into the mid of Walters for strike 1.
And something I've always questioned is why that isn't called an out. It technically is a foul and in the mitt. If the catcher drops it, it's safe. But if he catches, that just always boggles my mind why when it's not 2 strikes, that's just a foul.
Now, as a hitter, that would drive me crazy. You know, barely hit it. Catcher's right there to catch it. I kind of like the way it is, but I get your point. As a fastball hits the low corner for strike 2. So 2-1 the count into Michael Jorg. The pitch swung on. I missed strike 3. That's the 3rd out of the inning as the Matsu Miners are cruising through 7 as their bats will come up in the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. As we try to get the defensive changes here, Aaron Walters leads us off. Drew Swift, Brady Merritt due up next. It's Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1. Jake Terry came in a scoreless inning of relief to leave Asa Lacey as the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. So far today for Walters, had a single for an RBI back in the first. That was his first trip to the plate. And only. Popped out to first base, popped out to short, and reached base on a walk. It's now the bottom of the 7th inning. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball rides high and outside for ball 3. So now on the mound is number 9, Tyler Duke, as it's been a new pitcher every inning, as that's ball 4 to Aaron Walters. Paul Kunst pitched a perfect inning, as it was 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no errors. Last time up, Drew Swift now at the plate with Aaron Walters at first. On the mound, Tyler Duke. He came in from right field as the fastball goes high and inside. So we believe out and right now is going to be Paul Kunst. So we have to check on that. Over at short, going to be number 6, Evan Berkey, as the fastball misses.
A lot of moving parts right now with all of these position players pitching for the Oilers. That's all we'll say about that.
And fastball goes high. Count goes to 3 balls and no strikes.
It's got to be tough for the Oilers. They probably don't want to waste a lot of their normal POs, pitchers only for those who don't know. So they're using these position guys that maybe have pitched in high school before.
Fastball right down the middle to Drew Swift. That brings the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. For the Miners, 17 runs on 16 hits. Oilers, 1 run on 3 hits. The 3-1 taken for a strike. So the count goes to 3-2. Three and two the count. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Payoff pitch taken on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Scott Johnson punches out Drew Swift. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Check that. That's the first one. Scoreboard out in right field has me a bit confused. It's only 1 away. We'll see if the scoreboard confuses anybody else. As Walters was the first man in the inning, he's on first. Swift was the second. He struck out. Brady Merritt's the 3rd one to come to the plate in this inning. So he takes a fastball in for a strike. Merritt today got on with a walk. So he takes a ball there. Reached base on a walk, came around to score, also had an RBI. Had a single in the 3rd. And another single in the 5th. We are here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch into Merritt is taken outside. Count now goes to 2-1. This is the 8th pitcher for the Peninsula Oilers to take the mound, as the 2-1 is fouled straight back from Brady Merritt. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be along the East Coast to the West Coast, or even here out in Alaska. We thank you, and we see you, Mr. Emmons. Getting another cup of coffee as Brady Merritt grounds one back to the pitcher, over to first for 1, to first for 2. Brady Merritt grounds out into a double play. So a 1-6-3 double play for Brady Merritt, and that's all that'll be happening here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The score remains the Matsu Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1, as we head into the top of the 8th. It's the top of the 8th inning here at Harmon Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Mat-Su Miners leading the Peninsula Oilers 17-1. Taking the mound for the first time since June 13th is Kyle King. King comes in relief for Jake Terry, who went an inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. He'll face Tyler Duke. A lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch into him, bounces inside on the dirt for ball 1. King, his last outing against the Oilers on June 13th, only went 1/3 of an inning, allowed a run, it was earned, and not much else. Has only started 1 game as the second pitch is outside for a called strike. A favorable strikeout for Kyle King, thanks to Scott Johnston. King pitching from the stretch. He deals. Swung on, fouled straight back. That might have gotten the umpire. So the ball bounced off of either Aaron Walters or the shoulder of the umpire. But nonetheless, the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. King sets and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So count it now, 14 strikeouts. The Mat-Su Miners pitching staff has been phenomenal today. Almost as phenomenal as their bats. Although, to be fair, they have been held scoreless since that 3rd inning.
Right fielder number 10, Jake Darrow.
But scoring 17 runs is always great. As Kyle King will now face Jake Darrow. First pitch, fastball, misses low and away for ball 1. And for King on the season, 1-1, 5.06 ERA. As fastball catches the zone for strike 1. In 3 games, only started 1, has pitched 5 1/3, has 2 strikeouts, make it 3 with that one, and 5 walks on the season. Kings 1-1, ground ball over to second. Connor Denning taking the long hop, throws over to first, in time, 2 away. So King, so far, so good. Hometown Bakersfield, California, attends Cal State Bakersfield.
Now batting, center
Listed
fielder
as
number 5,
5'10", 160 pounds for Kyle King. As it will be the top of the lineup, Paul Kunst. So we were right in our assumption. Kunst is somewhere on the field after coming out from pitching. We're going to call it right field as he takes the ball low. And you never know with all the position change. We have to see the number to believe it. As a fastball rides outside from Kyle King, count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Kyle King, otherwise known to his team as Lupus from Bad News Bears.
There's a ground ball through the hole on the left side. That's a base hit. And that is the first hit since the 1st inning. So Kyle King giving up a base hit to Paul Kunst. As he's aboard here with Ryan Novus at the plate.
left fielder number 8, Matthew Kirk.
Looks like this will be number 8, Matthew Kirk. He's coming in to pinch hit, or potentially he's been in the game before, but we just missed him. But either way, number 8, Matthew Kirk is in the game and batting here. The 0-1 turns into 0-2. The pitch from King swung on, fouled off. He stays alive. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. We take a look out of town. The Bucks lead the Pilots 3-0. That's a final. as King's pitch bounces in the dirt. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, two, the count, 2 outs. Here on the top of the 8th, the pitch from King bounces in the dirt, low and away. Staying at first is Paul Kunst. So Kirk coming in to pinch hit for Ryan Novus. Novus had a base hit, came around to score the Oilers' only run back in the first. Struck out and flew out to right. First at bat for Kirk, swings and misses. So Kyle King has 2 strikeouts in his return to the mound. It's the Mat-Su Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio. It's 9 pitchers as we are here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Miners bullpen is thrilled. Kyle King has got into a game. He's jogging down the line as Kona Quiggle stands in. King getting some high fives from his fellow bullpen mates. As it looks like he will come out as another Miner is getting warmed as Quiggle squiggles this one over to second. Getting the ball and firing over in time. With all the defensive changes, over at second base is Grant Wood. Played third base earlier today. And now, pinch hitting for Tyler Bassetti is a man we haven't seen in a very long time. Since the first game of the season, it's Tristan Woods. Woods, a native Alaskan. First pitch into him is for a ball. And Tristan, listed as an outfielder and first baseman, swings through this one. Evens up the count at 1. Listed at 6'5", 215 pounds. Went to Service High School. Lives in Anchorage, Alaska. As he takes a fastball in for a called strike, count goes to 1-2. Tristan had a lot of time to work on in the pen. As he swings through, he does go around. That's a strikeout for Tristan Woods, and there are 2 away here for Austin Pianarini.
Nice to see the local guy get some playing time. Unfortunately, can't do much with it, but it is a nice sight to see.
Yeah, Woods coming in since June 7th, his first at-bat. And now Austin Pianarini, first pitch swinging. He fouls it back. And for the Oilers, This is Brian Leonhardt on the mound. A lefty on lefty matchup. They've used 9 pitchers so far in this game. 1-1 the count to Austin Pianarini. It went Wu, Jaime, Owen, Merrill, Lopez, Wood, Kunst, Duke, Leonhardt, and now Pianarini has a base hit. And Leonhardt kind of just shrugs his shoulder over to the dugout. Like, what are you going to do? It's Austin Pianarini. And for Austin, that is his 3rd hit today. He's 3 for 6 on the day with 4 RBIs. Now Spencer Henson now steps in from the right side.
Nice hit from Pianarini. He allowed it to get all the way in the zone and then pulled the quick trigger to line it out in the center. Real nice hit, and good to know that he's still on the ball, even though it's late in the game and it's been quite a long contest.
First pitch into Henson is low for a ball. So far for Henson, 2 singles, both coming in the first. Flew out to left, had a single back in the 4th, and then was hit by the pitch as this one bounces away from the catcher, Ballholm. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. This should be the last inning of play for the Matsu Miners at the plate. Last inning of play, of course, coming in the top of the 9th. As this one is popped up towards right field, ranging over and making the catch for the 3rd out. So a clean inning of work for Brian Leonhardt as the Miners go down. It's Miners 17, the Oilers 1 as we head into the top of the 9th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the last inning of play here on the top of the 9th inning. Jacob Butcher takes the mound. His first pitch is a fastball low and away. Butcher, another Alaskan, coming in, has an ERA of 5.68 in 2 games. Last appearance on June 11th. So it's been a while since we've seen the Butch as his fastball misses low and away again. For Butcher, 6 1/3 innings pitched, had 2 strikeouts, 4 walks. Has given up 5 runs. Only 4 were earned as his fastball misses low this time. So the count goes to 3-0 on number 4, Bryce Bigell. The 3-0 pitch took a little off of it, got a strike across, so the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Butcher pitching from the windup, and he deals. A little high for ball 4. So Miguel reaches base for the first time today. Miguel, of course, coming in to play third base as we've jumbled up their lineup. Ryan Cook was a designated hitter at one point. Came out of the game for third baseman, and now we see Grant Wood at the plate batting from the right side. We know Wood is here, and he's playing second base as of now. First ball from Butcher is too low for ball 1. Second pitch is taken in the dirt, and that's going to draw a little conversation from Drew Swift and Aaron Walters.
Yeah, Butcher hasn't pitched for a while, so maybe just trying to get into his own, realizing which pitch he can rely on. So we'll have to see how Butcher fares, otherwise known as Butcher Round Palmer.
So the defense, as we see it now for the Miners, Quiggle in left, Merritt in center, Pinarini still in right, no changes. Brett Owen comes in. He plays third base as the pitch is a high bouncing grounder. Swift gets it, fires over to second for 1, but not in time is the relay throw from Connor Denning. A great play from Drew Swift, and that ball was grounded right into the lip in the batter's circle as that one bounced high. Drew Swift playing it on the bounce, cutting off third baseman Brett Owen, who came in. Tristan Woods pinch hit for Tyler Bassetti. And then Brett Owen moves over and will play third in that position. Butcher now with 1 out. A first pitch swinging from Evan Berkey. We got the confirmation. He's over at short right now. As we will try to get this game finalized and correct by the end of tonight. The score, the Matsu Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1. There's a runner on first base as another swing and foul ball from Evan Berkey. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
Butcher is definitely a pitch to contact kind of pitcher, so he's definitely looking for that double play ball to end what has been a great game for the Miners.
Winning pitcher on record, should everything hold, Asa Lacey. As the curveball from Butch takes his hat off. As he turns around, finds it, picks it up. So really a big breaker, but the good news is, he got his hands up top, trying to get the curve going. Bad news, it knocked his hat off.
Well, there is a lot of wind going from left to right now to the right field, so
very true.
It's not on there tight. It's tough to.
Butcher's 1-2 taken inside for ball 2.
It'll take it off your head for sure.
Wind is picking up, and the Miners do have somebody warming up in the pen. Looks like Hank Boyer, another Alaskan. But Butch, all he needs is 2 outs. As a fastball misses somewhere, we'll call it outside for ball 3.
Yeah, that one just missed up in the zone.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. The Miners leading the Oilers 17-1. Jacob Butcher coming on in relief first time as a swing, and Berkey stays alive. Kyle King last inning, went an inning, a lot of hit, and got 2 strikeouts. Strikeout total now for the Miners, 11 from Lacey, 2 from Terry, 2 from King. 15 on the day. As this one is grounded over to short, Swift has it, fires over to second for 1, fired over to first, in time, game-ending double play. A 6-4-3 double play secures the win for the Matsu Miners. Your final, the Miners 17, the Peninsula Oilers 1, and what a game for pitching and what a game for hitting for the Miners, as this has been long overdue.
It really was. Coming out in those first 3 innings, dropping 17 runs, starting this game with 12 was absolutely miraculous. And then the pitching, just doing what it does. 4 hits today, only 1 run. Once again, another spectacular performance by the Hurlers for the Miners. They'll definitely celebrate this one, but a tough contest tomorrow night in Anchorage.
Well, this one is also good for top of the ABL as the Matsu Miners are now number 1. The Peninsula Oilers fall down to 2. And leave the Chinooks, followed by the Bucks, and then the Pilots to round out the top as the Bucks beat the Pilots today by a score of 3-0. But right here on Matsu Miners, it's the Miners 17, the Oilers 1. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be. For Brad Walker, I'm Connor Mills. Be sure to stay tuned to the post-game show. We'll have an interview with the manager, Ben Taylor, and the star of the game. It's going to be a tough one. So, from everyone here at Matsu Miners, we thank you. This is Connor Mills signing off.